just interrupted Glenn again. Carry on, sir.
Sorry, I'm used to it.
I'm not going to keep this going too long today. It's the first one for 3 months. And I'll be honest with you, I was terrified coming on here because although 3 months ago I was supremely confident about doing this, you do have to get your head back into the zone. And it's been really nice today. We've got 16 people who've looked in, and Glenn's been really supportive. Unless anybody's got anything else to say, and Glenn, you're very welcome to have the chair again. I'm going to start to wind this down shortly, but please feel free to carry on for a bit. Have some more claps. You have to clap. What you have to do, everybody, is clap us and tell us how great we are. Don't know why, just that's what you do. It's playtime. Glenn.
I'm trying to think now of what I've got a lot off track again. I can't remember what I was saying.
Oh yeah. Well, I've just got a list here of things that we were talking about. IPAs, income producing activities, and a good friend of mine who who lives out in the Far East, David, he said to me this morning that he uses 3 income producing activities a day, and those are at the top of his list. We talked about those earlier. Those are the things you do before anything else to keep the machine oiled, to keep the income moving, to keep it coming in and being reinvested. That's what you need to concentrate on first. After that, you do the second level, which is the midterm strategy, and then there's the long-term stuff, which is studying, following tutorials, doing trainings. Those are the long-term things which are growing you for the future. The midterm things are what are going to come about in the next month, like putting out a new splash page for a new product. Maybe that will take a month to turn around. But the IPAs are what will happen now. And those are the things you need to concentrate on first. So there's the 3 levels of strategy. Wow, we're good. Yeah. And you see, I didn't even realize I knew all this till just now, but it's absolutely right what we're saying. That's how it works.
Yeah, and this is like what we're going back to before about having the right sort of motivation for what it is that we're doing. You know, we can very often hamstring ourselves by not having it's not a case of, we're not saying to think too much of yourself, but it's a case of not being too self-deprecating. You know, don't dismiss the things that you know. And at the end of the day, if we're in the business of providing information and helping and coaching and mentoring or whatever it may be, then that goal is to help the person at the base level. As Richard, you'll know, I made a video about this just a few days ago about the goal at the base level or rather the desire at the base level that any person has is to have their problem solved or their desire met. You know, when somebody's looking to somebody or a product or whatever it is, they have a desire, a need, a want that they want solved. At the very base level, that's all they're interested in. So when they come to us as being a content provider, a coach, a mentor, whatever it is that we're providing to them, all they're interested in at the very base level is, can this person, can this company, or whoever it is, can they help me get one step closer to my desired outcome? That's all they care about. And very often this is where people, when they're just getting started, they overlook this a little bit because they think, well, what do I know? How can I help? But as you just said, Richard, you know, when we actually sit back and analyze ourselves, we're sometimes shocked to see or to realize just how much we do know. And obviously it's not to say that we should then put ourselves up and give the impression that we're so much better than we actually are or know more than we actually do. But it's a case of being authoritative with what we do actually know. You know, if you can help somebody do a particular thing and you can do that well and you can help them to do it well, then by all means leverage that and do that and help people with what you do know. Don't just dismiss it and say, I don't know very much. Well, it doesn't matter how much you know. It's a case of using what you do know to the best of your ability.
There's 2 very good points. One there was that I agree with you 100% on that. Very often I don't know. Somebody wants to jump in. Yes, of course you can. Just invite yourself and I'll accept. I was just going to say that very often I don't know how much I'm able to teach until I'm actually in the flow, like I am now, or was just earlier on. I was talking from experience, not from a set of notes or from a book. And that's, in some cultures, that's called whack in India. It's where you transcend your personality and speak from your depth of your knowledge. And you're not actually engaging through your personality or drawing on a higher knowledge that you've now built into yourself, which is part of your current self. And, you know, I don't always know how much I've learned until I start telling other people. So the best teachers, the best lesson you learn is the one you're teaching. That's basically it. The best lesson you can learn. This somebody wants to jump in here. Please do. You're very welcome. I'm still trying to work out how. Show callers. Here we go. Accept.
I'm newer to Blab than you are, Richard, so I can't help.
Well, I should know what I'm doing then, shouldn't I? I should know what I'm doing.
Okay, don't freak out. I turned my webcam off, but I do want to keep the mic on. The question, what I heard you guys saying is that, you know, you're going to share your experience and your knowledge and all that stuff. Well, I know, first of all, I'm from Canada, and I have always wondered, you know, I do that, but there are people that still come back to me and say, oh, what was your major? What certificate did you get? And it's like, well, I don't have one hanging off the wall. I have my computer graduate diploma that I took in college. That's really all I got up there. It's all computer stuff. And they kind of still look at you like, so what makes you think you qualify? If I don't have a certificate on, I don't know, counseling or public speaking, you know what I mean? Like, there is nothing out there that says that you are, other than you peddling yourself.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And the only thing you can offer is high value from your own knowledge. And people will slowly see, when you interact with them, just how much you do know. And then you'll become an authority because people will respect you for that. That's how it works. You don't need
and that takes time, though, right?
Absolutely. That's exactly
so
what it takes.
How much time would you consider is a reasonable enough time to get there?
What are you actually, where are you trying to get to and how are you trying to do it is the first question. What sort of business?
Well, currently I'm booking myself into seminars and I'm opening it up to the public. And I do report back to the local newspaper where I live. They're always asking me for my opinions and whatnot. And I've done that. And again, social media. So, I mean, I really...
In the area of social media, did you say? You work in the area of social media?
No. The actual area where I work is all related to disability issues. Mm-hmm. And my work actually takes place either at the client's place or at a community center meeting room. Like I said earlier, I'll set up seminars and webinars. I can do that. And I can do workshops. And that's how I do the work. I don't do it from where I am.
So you're running your business is about support. Is that pretty much?
Basically, yes. Yeah, support and education.
Well, the fact that you're running seminars and have groups meetings already tells me that people respect your opinion and see you as an authority in what you do. Would that be correct?
Well, I'm hoping. But, you know, like I honestly don't know if somebody bribing them, you know, because it's not consistent. You know, I will admit it depends on the topic. You know, and it is mainly where I live. I'm in a small town just north of a great city of Toronto, here in Canada, Ontario, right? Sounds so good. I know my target audience does have transportation issues, which is why I'm going to slowly start adopting Blab. Yay! Right, because it will allow people to come in virtually.
Well, in a massive country like Canada, I would have thought the internet was very useful indeed, especially in what you're doing. because it must take hours to get anywhere in a huge country like yours. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. It takes a while to get anywhere. It also takes half your wallet with it.
You see, we live in a tiny little island here, and everything's 10 minutes away, so we don't have those issues.
Oh, lucky dog.
But so how do you think this chat here is going to, where do you think we can help? Because we'd be very happy to...
What I heard made me think that I am thinking along the same lines. There's just that one doubt. You know, if people are looking for some sort of paper proof, a document that says that you are qualified to do whatever it is you're doing, like, how can you break that thinking down?
Well, I'll ask Glenn to answer that, but I mean, for me, it would be very much getting testimonials from the people you've helped, and the people who support you, the people who take you on to do the work. Those are all people who value what you do, and you build up a website with all those testimonials and things from other people, and then you send it out to other groups and say, look, this is what I do. These are the people who support me. What can I do to help you? I have solutions to problems you have. That's what I would be doing. It's obviously not, you're not doing this as for a money incentive. You're doing it because you like supporting people, yeah?
I mean, it would be nice just for a bit of pocket change. But yeah, I'm not in it to be like some multi-millionaire guru sitting in an office somewhere. I mean, I do have associates, and they all have their own little satellite offices. So, I mean, I'm in right now, not only Ontario. I just picked up a fella out in BC. And I have one... Oh, excuse me. Ew, a tickle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got one guy out in Nova Scotia, and I got one person in Alberta. So I'm slowly making my way across.
That's a long way from where you are.
Yes, it is. But again, I trust those people to be, self-sufficient and, self-motivating, and they can do the job. Because they are going to be using my name. They're all under my umbrella.
Angie, can I ask you a question?
Yes, go right ahead.
Are you okay with reading text online? Do you like following arguments in text form, like blogs and videos?
I'm a little bit of both.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say we have a wealth of information which is free of charge for you to read, which may well give you some pointers. Various blogs that we do on a weekly and even daily basis on strategy and methods of reaching people and engaging with people, which is what your job is all about.
Well, I just followed the two of you.
Well, no.
So keep my eyes on you anyway.
Well, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Glenn? Can you help Angie with any ideas?
Yeah, I was just thinking with regards to Angie's question about these people who want some kind of like she mentioned, like paper proof. That's something that it's almost like a stereotype that people.
It is, yes. People
want this. You're going to get that with all kinds of, areas of life and business. People, a lot of the time they have this mentality that qualification equals a piece of paper, when in reality, a qualification is how qualified you are to be able to actually do the job at hand, whatever that is. Now, obviously, there are going to be certain areas where it stands to reason, for example, somebody, to take an extreme example, let's say a surgeon, you're not going to allow somebody who just says, I'm a surgeon, to perform an operation unless you know their qualification. So obviously, something like that, you can understand. But all I would say with regards to other things is you've got to have the courage of your own convictions. If you know that you're qualified based on your life experience, your experience dealing with other people who are involved in the same sets of circumstances or backgrounds, or the people you've helped, and that itself qualifies you. You can speak from a position of experience and authority, and as Richard said as well, some of the practical things that you can do is if you can get testimonials from people that you've helped and people who have confidence in you, that will give you what's referred to as social proof. And basically anything that any experiences that you've had where you've had any kind of recognition. So, for example, you mentioned to me that you've been on the radio. Even if it's local radio, leverage that. I don't know if you have a website yourself, but if you have a website, you could put just along the top, for example, as seen on or as featured on, and then list wherever it is that you've been featured. So, for example, the local radio stations. That has an important sort of subconscious effect on people where they see.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea because I am in the middle of revamping the website, because to me, it's been up for 2.5 years in that style, in that format. And I'm thinking, this is very dreary, because I started out being more shirt and tie, because I wanted to do business with corporation and their inaccessibility problems, because I was going to be their solution. Well, there's a lot of government crap and red tape and all that stuff to get even in on their property. So I thought, you know what? I think I'll change my focus and help those that need it more than those that are obligated by law to do it.
That's really good, and I would say...
And that website of mine does not reflect that. It's still all business.
It's a very good idea to update yourself regularly and let everybody know you're updated. I mean, I don't mean change the whole thing, but just to keep people aware that you're still engaging and you're still doing stuff, Is this in regards to capitalism? Somebody's asking. What's capitalism? I guess.
Anyway, you answer my question, I'll bow out.
No, please don't. All I was going to say was that I've completely lost track because I'm sorry, it's my fault. I tried to answer somebody else. We were talking about updating yourself on a regular basis. I've got photographs of myself on my blog from 10 years ago, and everybody says, "You're so slim and you're only 40. You've got to update yourself. You've got to be honest. You've got to be now, haven't you, really?"
I guess that would be the equivalent of someone saying to me, "Oh, look, you're in that old wheelchair. You got to take that one down." Because I'm in a new wheelchair, so I look different.
Yeah. But, I really...
get you.
Yeah. Just be in the moment and always be fresh and, every day be ready to bring something new to people. I mean, it sounds like you know a lot already. You sound like you're quite actually very experienced in all this. Really?
Indirectly, I guess it's more, I just find hard my experience how to apply that to today. That worked yesterday and all the years prior, but all those years prior were what I call more tangible. You can actually get your hands on what I was doing. Now, because I'm all service, you can't really grab the service. I mean, you can participate, you can absorb it, but you just can't take it home with you, other than whatever you absorb through your brain. So I'm finding it more, I guess, a little bit more difficult. If I had a physical product, that would make it a lot easier to sell.
Yeah.
So the strategy for doing the service side is proven to be a little bit harder. Not impossible, but it is a lot tiring.
I wouldn't say there's a great deal of difference. I think what we're doing is offering solutions to people's problems the same way as you are. Ours are more geared towards people trying to make a living online, which is the thing we address, but exactly the same rules apply to whatever you do. Consistency, honesty, and openness. That's it. That's all I've got to say on that. I'm just going to answer Dean here. Ben, you're very welcome to chip in. I'm going to stop this very shortly.
just thinking, just as an idea. I mean, it will vary on a lot of with regards to your background and your abilities and circumstances and so on. But you're saying about maybe the idea of having an actual physical product. Have you ever thought about coming up with something like that? You know, just something like a book, for example, just a short book that would be helpful. Is that something that you could do, do you think?
Physically, I would have to say it would be very trying. But I'm sure I could probably find a ghostwriter, so that problem would be solved. The idea of doing that, I really never gave it much thought because I was too much in the moment trying to get this thing up and going, right? So I've been focusing more on my marketing side and getting the word out and having word of mouth from those that do attend any of my seminars or workshops, and having them and trying to encourage them to tell your friend who tell their friend and so on, right?
Yeah. Because what I was just thinking of with regards to the book idea is, and you know, I think what you've just said about getting a ghostwriter, that's perfectly, that would be a great way of doing it, is that what a lot of people don't realize is that the company Amazon, they have a service called CreateSpace, where you can basically, you don't need to go through publishers or any of that sort of stuff. You can create a book very simply, very easily, and very, very cheaply through CreateSpace. Now, it's just an idea, and I'm not saying you absolutely should go out and do this. It's just something that you may not have thought of. But if you were to create a book, and maybe, I mean, it will depend on your own finances, because obviously I don't know what you can do. But if you were to create, just for example, order for yourself maybe 30 of these books, you know, just order them. And then when you go to your seminars and so on, actually give out these books for free. And what that will do is not only is it showing that you're interested in giving value, and for you know, you're not interested in the money side of it, you're interested primarily in helping and giving value. What that will also do is help you with what you were just saying about getting you, it's like word of mouth, you know, getting you more exposure, but it'll also help give you further social proof, because when somebody sees a person is a published author, it automatically has an important psychological trigger, and it helps a person to think, or it causes a person to think that, you know, this person's an authority, this person's a published author. And they might not sit there and consciously think that, but subconsciously, it's automatically raises your credibility in people's eyes. Yes,
and again, that does help with the image of, you know, having some sort of diploma. Now I got a book. Inverse of that, Now, can I get you to put that link to the Amazon feature you were talking about?
Yeah, just
that way I can bookmark it for later.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just say something, Angie, while he's doing that. I was a chiropractor for 30 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Now then, I wrote a very small book once about neck pain and how to relieve it, and I gave it to people. Suddenly, everybody said I was an expert on neck pain. Now, I'd been treating neck pain for 30 years, but because I did a 10-page booklet on it, suddenly, this man's written a book. He must be good.
Yeah.
Nothing changed except people's perception of me because I'd written a few things down.
Yes.
So there you go. Do it.
Tell that to my fingers. But yeah, no, seriously, I like the idea. It just, at the moment in time, it's like, when can I set aside time to start doing some pages here, there, and everywhere, right? I'm not going to be able to just sit down and plonk, do it all in one day.
No, right? you need a strategy.
Yeah. Ding, there you go.
Yeah, create.
Oh, thank you.
Nice one. I'm also going to take that address because I've got a book on the go. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm going to bookmark that right now.
What I would say about this, you don't really, you're only limited by your own imagination. I mean, with the internet, as Richard and I were saying before, there's so much available, so much we can do. You can create like text-based products, you can create video-based products, audio-based products, membership sites. So I'm not saying that you need to do all that and think that right now or once, but all these are options that can be used. But the beauty of what I've just mentioned there about using CreateSpace and coming up with a physical book is that that's something that then is physical and tangible that you can then take to your seminars, and then people can lay it down on the table. And people can get that.
I'm going to chime in again here, Angie. Here's another idea for you. Another idea, and this is free. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
A free idea. Write yourself an ebook in Word and put it on your website and give it away as a link and become an authority that way too. It doesn't have to be a fully blown book. Just, a basic
page or two or something, right?
Well, maybe 20 pages on what you do, why you do it and why you're motivated to do it and how it can help other people, and give it away. Give it away free.
And, forgive my sad humor, but now you got me thinking, okay, I'll write a book online, so, maybe 20 some odd pages. But then now the idea of having a product to back up that ebook is a box of Kleenex, because I know I'm going to make them cry when they read it.
Well, it's the very big motivator. If you can reach people by making them cry, they're going to follow you everywhere. So.
Yeah, because I'm the only one with the tissue.
Oh, but the ebook would be a good way of getting your name around, and the branded book would be something you could follow with. I mean, I don't know. It's just an idea. The great idea from Glenn there.
Well, thank you very much, kind sir. And over here where I am, I got to take care of my dog. So I'm going to have to cut loose. If you're here later, I'll pop back.
We're going to sign off quite shortly, or I am.
Okay.
Anyway. But it's been a pleasure talking to you, Angie, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
So it just shows that marketing isn't just about making money. It's about promoting anything, isn't it? It's
absolutely.
The goal doesn't have to be making a fortune. In fact, it shouldn't be. So I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in, or if you've got anything else you want to add, or I might go off and do some other things now.
Well, we've been on for over an hour. Just over an hour. So.
Well, I feel I've re-established my right to be here, and so have you. Thank you for your support, Glenn. As usual, you're always there to support people doing when they take action, aren't you?
Try to be.